rankings just come out. Women's side number 2 in the country. Tell me a little bit about how this season's been going, especially for the women.
Yeah, it's going very well. This is the highlight of our morning. National rankings came out, and Humboldt State's women's outdoor track and field program is number 2 in the country. And I gotta just thank my coaches. They can't do this alone, that's for sure. I'm just kind of the guy standing here in front of the camera again and talking about it. But yeah, we're excited, and we've got 3 races underneath our belt, and so far so good. We're going to have an off week this week and then reset. Some of the athletes, we'll see what the entries, but we're going to go down to Texas Relays down in Austin. Also Stanford Weekend will be the following week as well, and San Francisco State, so we're looking forward to that. But a nice week off. We need to kind of take some rest, gather everything up, and just get ready for the next set of meets coming up in April. So just individually, Elizabeth DeHetter's had a really good weekend at Hornet. She's number 1 in the country in the 400-meter hurdles. And I checked against the D1 competition as well. She's number 4 amongst all the divisions when you stack everything up. So something special there. Really proud of her, and she's done a great job. Marissa McKay is number 1 in the high jump in the country. She's in Division 2. She's also number 11 in the triple jump, and she's number 6 in the heptathlon. That's Marissa McKay. Ariel Oliver in the shot put's number 4 in the country. She's also number 6 in the discus. And Tatiana Gillick in the 1500. She's number 3 in the country. So you add all that up, and it's phenomenal. And you can't forget Ellie Rouse too, our freshman, our true freshman. She's number 8 in the high jump as well. So you put all these pieces together, and that's how you accumulate your number 2 in the country accolades. And we're proud of it, and it's just going really well. So I don't mean to give you a mouthful, but that's the stats, and that's kind of how we live and die with track and field, is your marks.
Tell me a little bit. Let's just talk specifically about Elizabeth for a second, because she's having really a standout year. CC2A Athlete of the Week again this week, right?
I don't know. I didn't hear about that one.
I don't know.
I think
she
did
did.
it again?
Yeah. I think she got it again this week. Just tell me a little bit about the season she's having, because it seems like it's every week she's adding more and more hardware.
She is, and I'm glad that she got the CC2A Athlete of the Week this week again. We put her in for the National Athlete of the Week, and unfortunately we got beat out by an Angelo State athlete who deserves it. She had a great heptathlon last week, but Elizabeth, just a great leader by example, and she works so dang hard. She deserves it, and it's her 4th year here at Humboldt State, and it's kind of neat because she was a near walk-on. I think she had little to no scholarship money offered to her, and I was looking at her marks throughout the season, throughout her career here, and she's just gotten better at everything she's done every single year. And a lot of that goes to Sarah Ingram for coaching her. I mean, she's really done well. It's just, she deserves it. She really works hard, and she's a great student. And we're going to enjoy this senior year for her and just keep her healthy. That's the main thing. And we plan on just making it a long season, getting to nationals again, obviously, and making sure she's healthy. And I think, you look at Elizabeth, and she goes to nationals last year, and she got 9th. She was a second-team All-American, but she wanted that top 8 spot. And I think there's a little bit of chip on her shoulder. I think she thinks about that, and I think she's just working harder because of that, just to kind of give herself a little bit of insurance, knowing that she can, get back there again this year and do well. But Elizabeth, she's a workhorse, and she deserves it. She deserves it.
Obviously, the team right now is riding pretty high right now, but it is still pretty early in the season. How do you pace things and make sure that everybody stays healthy and can continue to compete at this level later in the season, especially as you get close to nationals?
Yeah, I think it's just proper recovery. So I think the hard workouts are just as important as recovery. And so that's why we're taking this week off of traveling, so we can rest our bodies up a little bit, sleep in our own beds for a few more days of the week, and then reset ourselves and start it up again for April. But I think being more preventative, doing ice baths and making sure you take care of little things that might come up during a workout, and you just take care of them with the trainer. Shannon Childs has done a great job with that, and his whole staff. But just be preventative about yourself as far as anything that might sneak up on you. And the coaches have plenty of experience of being here before. Just every season you learn something new, and that accumulates over the years. So I think we just keep an eye out for things and keep a good balance. And I guess to kind of keep your mind off of track and field, that's when you hit the books and just kind of balance things out and study, and don't overthink anything. Don't worry about the rankings and where you stand, nationwide. You just need to kind of put your thoughts somewhere else, and you just kind of measure your energy and make sure it's going at the right place at the right time. And just save it for the races. So.
Can you talk a little bit, Coach, about how special it is for you to be able to take your team to, a meet like the Hornet Invite, a Division I meet? You're having Stanford, Sac State, Hawaii, all these really prominent D1 schools. Can you talk about how it is to see your athletes measure up and really excel in that environment?
Yeah, it's exciting. It's I tell the athletes all the time, it's just a jersey. I don't care whose name's on it. It's just a jersey, and just beat them. Go out there and challenge yourself. We had great weather conditions. We had great competition. We've been working out hard, so there's no reason for a lot of these athletes to PR, and a lot of them did. I know we're talking all about the women's side, but the men have done really well themselves. So it was a really good effort at Hornet, and we beat a lot of Division I teams relative to these individual events. We stack up pretty well against these other teams. The only thing that we lack is depth. We just can't afford it, scholarship-wise. It's just the depth, and I don't mean to bring business into things, but it's where it is objectively. That's just how things are. But with the athletes that we do have on the team, they do really, really well, and they've gotten better every single year. And so going to Hornet and facing that kind of competition is what gets you better for those next big meets, like when you go on a conference or you happen to make it to the national championships. That's why we go to the big meets, so you get used to going against that kind of competition, because there's no room for any mistakes. You just can't. You just got to go in there and you got to be at your best, or you're gonna see the result fall back a little bit if you don't.
Can you speak a little bit about, like you said, Humboldt, the one thing that they don't have is the depth sometimes, but can you just talk about the culture that you've instilled, that although you might not have the financial depth to, compete with, say, a Chico State, that you still are producing some of, the top athletes, not only in the CCAA, but in the nation. So can you talk about the culture that Humboldt Track and Field has established in your time here?
Yeah, I think a lot of it's within the athletes themselves, and I'm just proud of them. They work hard. I think you can't do it in a year or two. It takes 4 to 5 years to kind of turn things upside down a little bit and just get the right people in place and maybe have them do the right things. But it all starts with the experience of being here at Humboldt State, getting your degree. That's the number one priority, is getting your education, and then having some fun with the track and field, working hard. But a lot of these athletes, like I said before, you have this window of time, and before you know it, it's gone. 4 to 5 years, it's gone. And you look back, and what that instilled in you as a person, your character, is the hard work ethic that the track and field program offers, and that's who you become. You become that person, and it's more than just track and field. It's the overall experience of the academics and getting that degree, and then bouncing out with some fast times or good marks. But yeah, I'm real proud of them.
You guys pretty much covered it. I'd just be asking repetitive questions, so.
Wow.
All right.
Well, let me touch a little bit on the men's side.
Okay.
Because that's important, obviously. Tegan Eilers, he's probably our top athlete on the men's program relative to him being a decathlete. Little hamstring pull, but he's Fortuna High School local product. Great, school record holder in the deck. And so we're going to hold him out. He'll be competing about a week from now, week and a half. We'll open him with some individual events, and we're going to go down to Los Angeles and have him do Azusa Pacific. But he's looking good. We just haven't seen him this year because we want to make sure that we cue him up correctly. We don't injure him, and his hamstrings is bothering him. So that'll come back around. But also on the men's side, you cannot ignore Calvin Herman and Mario Kay, the other hurdler. Those are really good hurdlers. And then we have a slew, about 4 to 5 men on the men's distance team that have really had good weekends at Hornet Invite. And one of them that we'll talk to today is Daniel Toll. He's a redshirt freshman. He ran 3:55. He's ranked number 2 in the CC2A 1500 meter run. and he's just going to get better along with everybody else. But the program's in a good place right now. There's good balance there. Obviously, we're having those once-in-a-lifetime type women's teams, so we're going to sit here and brag about them. And but the men can't be ignored either. They're doing just as much work, and their results are coming too. So we'll leave it at that.